your fears can feel, well, scary. It can feel like you can't face them. You can't feel your feelings because it's so intense that you don't know what to do. You feel like it'll eat you up or gobble your whole being into the darkness within. And the way to change this, or to start nibbling away at it, is to face your fears despite your fears about facing your fears. Because once you start testing your thoughts, or challenging your mind, because your mind is saying you can't face this because it's too much, when you feel it anyway, when you face it, you realize that your mind didn't know what it was talking about. It might be uncomfortable, but then it passes. When I felt intense anxiety and fear and even depression, when I've been willing to melt into it, to welcome it fully, it shifts, because emotions and thoughts constantly change, which means the feeling changes, especially if you're willing to just let it be. It's kind of like if you're swimming and you relax and float on top of the water. You have to relax completely, and that's what needs to happen when you're facing your fears. So if you're afraid of giving a public speech, doing a video, writing a book, whatever it is you want to do, you begin by looking inside and noticing what's actually going on. What kind of thoughts are spinning around in your head? What kind of voices do you hear? What's the story or the narrative? And where are the feelings in your body? Just being aware of this and being present with what's going on, you start noticing that there is a story. There are emotions, but you don't have to take them so seriously. You can start facing your fears and tasting them, because once you start doing this, you start building courage, and you start realizing that you don't have to be held back by your fears. You can do something you enjoy. You can do what you love despite being anxious. It's not about not having fear. It's simply about having the courage to walk through that fear, to let it be in your body, and to challenge it. Because once you challenge it, it's like that old book, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. It's kind of a good point. So you can challenge your fears by writing them down and writing down counterpoints. You can challenge your fears by feeling them fully in your body. You can even do vipassana meditation on it. If you have fear, you simply note what's going on. For example, if you have a thought that something's going wrong, you simply label it. You note thought. And if you have a feeling, you note feeling. And if you have worry, you can note worry or thought or hear sound. You simply start labeling things, and that keeps you in the present moment and gives you some space from what's going on within you. And in time, that'll start changing how you view reality and how you actually work. And once those insights start blossoming and sprouting within you, you'll have more freedom, and more freedom means more doing what you enjoy, because you're not so afraid of, let's say, being homeless or what other people think or what's going to go wrong. Now, you're still practical. You want to sprinkle in that practicality, but you don't want to be overwhelmed by fear, because at the end, when you reach the end of your life, you want to have lived your life, not someone else's life, not the life your fears want you to live. So if you're afraid of facing your fears, the antidote is to actually start facing your fears. Not right away, not diving in completely, but taking a tiny step. For example, if you want to write a book, then maybe you start by writing in your journal. If you already write in a journal, maybe you start an anonymous blog. If you want to do public speeches, public speaking, maybe you do 1 minute in front of a video that you never share. Then maybe you do 1 minute and you share it on YouTube. You never tell people who you are, you just share it. Then maybe you do 2 minutes, 3 minutes. You see where I'm going with this. So it's all about facing your fears and challenging your mind, because your mind doesn't know what's going on. It comes up with what if scenarios and what's going to go wrong and what's not going to go wrong. So once you start challenging those and you start nibbling away on those narratives, then things start to change and interesting things begin to happen, because your life will start to open up and you'll start enjoying it more, and you'll have more energy because you won't be so confined by your fears.